What's going on, people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another episode of Premier League Predictions. Today's Friday, you know what that means? It's time for me to predict this weekend's Game Week 27 Premier League predictions. There are big games such as the London derby between Fulham and Arsenal. Looking forward to that one. Bournemouth against Liverpool. Can Liverpool make it another 9-0 like they did at Anfield? And Crystal Palace against City. We all know what happened when these two met last season. Like Crystal Palace beat them 2-0, I think, and then it was 0-0. So yeah, so can Crystal Palace try and stop City from winning this title? We should wait and see. And yeah, and then there's the Newcastle rules. Like both teams don't score goals, so there you go. And can Chelsea continue this winning one after not only beating Leeds but also beating Dortmund last Wednesday? We should wait and see. So there's games I'm looking forward to. So that's what I'm going to do in this video, predict every game for game week 27 for this weekend. So looking forward to it. So before we get started, if you guys haven't already, make sure you click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you're new, click the subscribe button below, hit the bonus notification so that you never miss any of my YouTube content, and click the share button so that you guys that's watching this video right now can also give me your predictions in the comments down below, and I'll see if I agree or disagree, or maybe perhaps be surprised for your predictions. So make sure you guys do that. All right, so without further ado, let's start off with tomorrow's lunchtime. And that game is Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Of course, Bournemouth will be very disappointed not to get a win against Arsenal at the Emirates, which they don't do because they were 2-0 up. Billing scored the fifth fastest goal in Premier League history because Shane Long's goal still stands in the 2018 to 19 season. It's the fifth fastest goal. So that happened, and then they scored the second goal. We was all like, boy, can Bournemouth actually do this? But then I thought to myself, now you know what? Arsenal win this game because this is not the first time that they've ever gone 1-0, 2-0 down and then they have to score, make a comeback. We've seen this against Man United, Liverpool, Fulham, and all that stuff, and they've done it once again. So Bournemouth um, could have been 3-0 up if they would have taken their chance, but they absolutely bottled it. So it looks like Bournemouth didn't hang on. Whereas for Liverpool, oh my goodness me, 7-0 against Manchester United. I mean, listen, at half time, it was 1-0 when I think it was Goldie Capper that scored that goal, something like that. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I still think Man United will win because everything, how we know what happens when his team go 1-0 down, he makes changes at half time, tactical change, and then you'll see Man United scoring like maybe 2 or 3 goals, and that'll help them get the win. But he didn't do that at all. He didn't make changes at half time, and he just allowed Liverpool to absolutely destroy them. I mean, if you look at the second half, 6 goals, yeah, it happened in 7 minutes. So every 7 minutes they scored a goal. Liverpool, like, they allowed Goldie Campbell to score. Bobby Firmino, who that could be his first goal this season. I'm not quite sure in the Premier League. Mo Salah scoring against Manchester United at Anfield once again, and who else? Darwin Núñez too. And let me tell you this: that yeah, Mo Salah has more yellow cards than Man United have scored at Anfield. Yeah, he's got 2 yellow cards for taking his shirt off, both that 2-0 win before the pandemic and last Sunday. So he has more yellow cards than Man United scored at Anfield. Like, my God, 7 years and Man United cannot beat Liverpool at Anfield. Like, it's just absolutely shocking. So, yeah, that was got to be the most surprising game of the season. A really good one, but most surprising because I didn't think that Man United will get humiliated like this. If it was 2-0 Liverpool, then fine. But 7-0 against your biggest rivals, honestly, that is the most surprising game of the season. So, yeah, well done to Liverpool. And if you look at the table, Liverpool are now 3 points behind Tottenham. So, if so, I didn't personally think that Liverpool finished in the top four, but could Liverpool, could Jurgen Klopp do what he did during the pandemic 2 years ago, where none of us thought that Liverpool finished in the top four, and they do that? Can they do it again? Because honestly, if it wasn't for Newcastle and Tottenham, Liverpool would not finish in the top four. But yeah, Tottenham need to make sure that Bournemouth do them a favour. But can I see that happening? No. So for this game tomorrow at lunchtime, I'm going to go for a 3-0 Liverpool win. Of course, I keep on saying that when big teams have a 12 p.m. kickoff, they don't usually do well. Of course, last week, Man City against Newcastle, my first prediction was 2-0, but I suddenly changed my mind to 2-1. And do you know what? If I would have gone for my first prediction, 2-0 Man City, I'd have gone 3 points because that was the end result, 2-0. So I thought to myself, oh God, why did I have to change it? But this one, I'm not going to change it. I'm going to go for a 3-0 Liverpool win. So it looks like Arsenal beat Aston Villa, 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Man City beat Newcastle, 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Can Liverpool do the same thing against Bournemouth? I think so. It's going to be 3-0 to them. I think Darwin Núñez will score, Mo Salah will score, and Cody Gakpo will score for Liverpool. That was how it works for that game tomorrow. So 3-0 to Liverpool. It won't be 9-0 like it was at Anfield, but it's going to be another huge win against Liverpool. So yeah, so Liverpool need to make sure that they beat Bournemouth and Tottenham lose against Nottingham Forest, which I will get to that prediction in just a couple of minutes. So yeah, so for this game tomorrow, 3-0 to Liverpool is going to be my prediction on that one. White, Everton versus Brentford. Now, when I look at Everton's record, look at this. They're on 22 points. And ever since they beat Arsenal 1-0 under Sean Dyche, take a look at this. They've lost against Liverpool. Yeah, they beat Leeds, but then they lost against Aston Villa, Arsenal, and drew against Nottingham Forest. So that means Everton had 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, which isn't bad enough, but they're still in 18th place. So Everton need to win this, but they're up against a Brentford team who are just 4 points ahead of Chelsea. So if they win and Chelsea lose, they will go 7 points, and also there will be 1 point, just 1 point behind Liverpool, depends on the Bournemouth game. And also, if Tottenham lose, there will be 4 points. So the battle of the top 4 look very interesting. Very interesting. Like, this one, I love the Premier League because the title race, who will win it, the top 4 who will make it, and who survived the relegation. So I want to see what happens on the final day. If it's going to be, the title who will win. I want it to be the last day of the season, which it ends in May. So I'm looking forward to that one. So Everton are fighting for survival, whereas for Brentford, they're fighting for Europe. And if they actually do that, that will be the first time they enter Europe in history because they don't do that. Brentford, they really don't. So, yeah, Thomas Franke, he's doing wonderful things for Brentford. So, for this game tomorrow, I think Everton will score, but I have to go for Brentford win of 3-1. I think maybe Ivan Toney will score 2 goals, or maybe Mwepu will score, and then for Everton, maybe Dominic Calvert-Lewin if he's fit enough. So, yeah, it's going to be 3-1 to Brentford. I just don't see Everton winning because, yeah, I would have thought they'd beat Liverpool and then Leeds and then Arsenal and all that stuff, but they don't. So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult game for Everton. So I have to go for Brentford win of 3-1 in that one. Right. Leeds United against Brighton. Like, the new manager, they've lost 2 games, I believe. Leeds United. I know they lost against Chelsea. No, hold on. Sorry. Leeds United on the same points as Everton. So yeah, they deep beat after Jesse March got sacked. They drew against Man United, then lost against Man United again, then lost against Everton, they beat Southampton, and lost against Chelsea. So it's good, but Leeds United are on the same points as Everton. So, in order for Everton to stay up, they need to make sure that Brighton beat Leeds and they beat Brentford. So, yeah, the battle for survival looks very interesting. And for Southampton, they're on 21 points. So, yeah, only three just get relegated. Only one of them can survive. So, this one is very, very interesting. Um, for Leeds, though, they lost against Chelsea, but I feel like they'll be very disappointed because their performance was all right, but they just couldn't handle Chelsea. The big question is, can they handle Brighton? Because Brighton absolutely destroyed West Ham 4-0. Like, this is unbelievable. And Brighton, if you look at the table here, they're on the same points as Brentford. And yeah, if they win and Liverpool lose, there will be either fifth or sixth, depending on the goal difference. So yeah, the battle for Europe is also very interesting. That's why I cannot wait to see what happens on the final day of the season on the 28th of May. So it's going to be very interesting. So Leeds against Brighton, I have to go for Brighton to win, um, probably 3-1. I'm going to go for a Brighton win of 3-1. I think Leeds United will score, but I think Brighton would just beat them. I feel like they will do the double for Leeds United this season. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go for 3-1 to Brighton. Like they beat West Ham 4-0. Leeds lost their last game, so unfortunately for Leeds fans, if you want to win, if you want to stay up, you have to beat Brighton. But I cannot. Can I say you do it? Unfortunately not. So I'm gonna go for a 3-1 Brighton and hope Albion win on that one. Right, Leicester City against Chelsea. Now, Chelsea are starting to really pick up form. The last two games, we played the back three. We scored 3 goals and we kept a clean sheet. So things are looking really good under Graham Potter. But for Leicester City, after they've beat, I think the last win was against Tottenham. I think. Let me just have a quick look. Sorry, they beat, yeah, yeah, ever since they beat Tottenham 4-1, they lost against Man United 3-0, then lost against Arsenal 1-0, then had the huge shock. They've lost against Blackburn Rovers 2-1, and then they lost to Southampton 1-0. So, yeah, they beat Tottenham about a month ago, but they lost against, they have 4 games that they've lost. So, yeah, and the thing is that can Chelsea do the double for Leicester? Because the last time we've done that, I believe that was either we've won the title or maybe the 2017 to 18 season, something like that. So, yeah, if we haven't done the double for Leicester City for a long time, and I really hope we can do that. I'm not going to talk about this too much because I'm going to save this for the match preview that's coming up later on today, so make sure you guys check that out. But for my prediction, I'm starting to build a bit confident in this team. If Green Potter sticks on back three, then I feel like we'll keep a clean sheet and maybe we'll score 2 goals because yeah, we don't usually we usually score maybe one or two, but the last time we've got a score more than 2 goals on the Graham Potter was against Wolves, which was October. So yeah, and hopefully this time when Chelsea take their chances, they put them in the back of the net because the game against Dortmund, we could have destroyed them. We absolutely could have destroyed them, but we didn't. But listen, we're through to the quarterfinals. Graham Potter still not safe with me, but if he can stick this back three and get Chelsea to keep on winning and winning and winning, and maybe perhaps win the Champions League, which I don't think we'll do, then maybe next season he deserves to stay. If he has a good pre-season and makes Chelsea be in the title race and all that stuff, then maybe I'll eat my humble pie and I'll apologize to Todd Bowley and to Graham Potter. So he's still not safe with me, but let's see what happens if he can stick this back three, continue what he does, and then we'll see what happens. So for this game tomorrow, 3 p.m., another 3 p.m. kickoff for Chelsea. This time it's away from home against Leicester. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Chelsea win. I'm starting to be a bit confident, which, I haven't done. Now, this one is interesting. Man United against Southampton. I thought that game would be on a Sunday, not a Saturday, because, yeah, I would have thought that game would be on a Saturday. No, sorry, Sunday. Let me just have a quick look. Sorry, guys. Let me just have a quick look. If it's on a Saturday, I'm very surprised. Very surprised on that one. Let me just have a quick look. That game should be on a Sunday because Man United have played Well Betis yesterday, and that game was on a Thursday last yesterday night. So let's see if that game is on a Saturday. Yeah, it's actually on a Sunday, so I don't know why my thing says Saturday, but I'll leave that one I'll leave that one. So don't worry, guys. This game will be on a Sunday, not a Saturday. So yeah, for this game, I'm gonna leave that for the Sunday. So let me move on into Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest. That game is definitely on a Saturday because Tottenham played against AC Milan, which they've lost. Um, on aggregate and it ended 0-0 and that game was on a Wednesday, so that's fine. So Tottenham Hotspur played is Nottingham Forest. Like Tottenham once again, another year, 15 years since they last won a trophy. I'm 22 years old, yeah, and in my lifetime, I only see Tottenham lift two trophies ever since I was born in 2000 as a human being. The Cowboy Cup, which they beat us in the 2008 final, and the Audi Cup. That is it. In my lifetime, I saw two trophies. And I heard and I watched 90-minute football, and there was a Spurs fan, Howie, that says Spurs are bigger than Chelsea. And I, what? Like, there is no way in hell that you're bigger than Chelsea. We've got a bigger fan base than you. We've won more trophies than you. We've been to more finals than you. You may have a bigger stadium than us, but ever since you beat Chelsea 2-0, you got knocked out by Sheffield United, you lost against Wolves, and then you lost on aggregate against AC Milan. So there's no way on earth that you're bigger than Chelsea. We still got a chance of winning a trophy, and you're not. Your season is over, and our seasons ain't over just yet. So there you go. There's no way you're bigger than Chelsea. And guess what? Over the next few years, we'll have a new stadium that will be bigger than you. So yeah. So make sure you watch that out. How he says that Tottenham is bigger than Chelsea. Give me a break. There's no way on her. There's no way in hell they are bigger than Chelsea. Absolutely no way. So for this game, against Nottingham Forest, of course, these two met each other at the City ground, and I think it ended 2-2. No, actually, Tottenham beat them 2-0. Yeah, Tottenham beat them 2-0. But in the FA Cup, Nottingham Forest beat them 2-0. So yeah, this game is going to be interesting. Yeah, Tottenham is under Antonio Conte. I just don't trust him. Like, if I was a Tottenham fan, I expect him to leave right now. But guess what? He said he's going to leave for the summer, so you have to stick with him until this season is over. And yeah, so whereas for Nottingham Forest, I think they might be unbeaten. Let me just have a look. When was the last time that Nottingham Forest lost a game? Oh yeah, they lost against West Ham. That's right. But yeah, if you look at the table, actually, Nottingham Forest are in 14th place on 26 points. So they're out. So it looks like to me they're going to be in the Premier League next season. So if Nottingham Forest can picking up wins under Steve Cooper, then Nottingham Forest aren't going to get relegated. And I knew that before the season starts. You know, even though they're in a relegation form, I still believe I believe they will survive, and that's what they're doing right now. So yeah, they're just 4 points. But if they beat Tottenham, which I think they will, then I'm gonna say that Nottingham Forest will definitely survive and be in the Premier League next season. So for this game tomorrow, I have to go for a 2-0 Nottingham Forest win. I don't see Tottenham scoring because they couldn't score against a poor AC Milan team, and I don't think they will score against Nottingham Forest, who looked poor, but the last couple of games have picked up points. So yeah, so for Tottenham, I just still see them winning and scoring. So I'm gonna have to go for a 2-0 Nottingham Forest win on that one. It's at White Hart Lane. I know that the last home game Tottenham beat Chelsea, but listen, the Champions League they won that great. So yeah, so I'll have to go for Nottingham Forest win of 2-0. All right, the next one, 5:30 p.m. kickoff is Crystal Palace against Manchester City. Now, of course, Crystal Palace, when these two met, Man City beat Crystal Palace 4-2, and in that game, yeah, Crystal Palace should have been 3-0 up if that goal had stood, and they could have beaten Manchester City at the Etihad like they did last season, but they didn't. So, Man City, if they want to win this title, they need to make sure that they beat Crystal Palace, which is a tough place to go to, and make sure that Fulham do also a favour and beat them. So, Yeah, for Manchester City, I think their last game they beat Newcastle 2-0, which I didn't expect. So, yeah, it's on Saturday night, not a 12:30 p.m. kickoff. So, it's a tough place to go to. But I think Man City will win. I feel like they need to keep this winning one, make sure Arsenal drop points, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So, for this game tomorrow night, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Man City win. I think. I think Eddie Hart needs to score goals if he wants to break the record. So I think he'll score and maybe Phil Foden will score since he scored like maybe 4 goals in 5 games for Manchester City, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-0 City win. It's gonna be Phil Foden and Alejandro who to score the goal. So that's how the game was gonna end. And then after that, they got RB Leipzig at home. So yeah, they need to basically win that game. And if they do, then they'll have much confidence going to the Leipzig game. It's going to be difficult, but if they could put on the same performance as they did against Newcastle, then Crystal Palace, and beat Leipzig, then Man City will be fine. So for this game tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. kickoff, I'm gonna go for a Manchester City win of 2-0. Now let me move into Sunday's game, starting off with Manchester United against Southampton. Like I mentioned before, Manchester United lost 7-0 against Liverpool, which I didn't expect. And we all thought to ourselves, can Man United bounce back? Like, if they beat Betis and then Southampton, then Man United are back. They did beat Betis. Can they beat Southampton? I think so. But if Southampton, yeah, put 7 goals past Man United once again, I'll be more. This one will be even more shocking because Southampton are in the relegation zone, whereas for Liverpool they're fighting for the top 4. So losing against Southampton will be much, much worse than losing against Liverpool. So yeah, I think Man United will bounce back. They beat Will Betted 4-1 yesterday, so yeah, so I'm gonna go for a 3-0 um Manchester United win. I feel like they will win this time, because of Hampton. It's been the team, remember 2 years ago they destroyed Southampton 9-0. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I feel like they will beat Southampton at home just like they always do. So it's gonna be a difficult one, but I think Man United will win. It's gonna be 3-0. I see Rashford scoring. Casemiro and probably Bruno Fernandes. So there you go. So those are going to be the goal scorers for tomorrow's game against Southampton. So yeah, 3-0 to them is going to be my prediction. I think they will bounce back. If they lose against Southampton, then boy, I don't know what's going on with United, but I still think they'll do well. So 3-0 to them is going to be my prediction on that one. Right. Moving on into another Sun game, and it's Fulham against Arsenal, a London derby. Now, of course, Fulham against the big 6 teams have done well. When they face Liverpool, they've drawn. When they've only lost against Man United, Tottenham. Yeah, they beat Chelsea. They drew to Liverpool. They lost against United. They lost against Tottenham. So yeah, going to the Craven Cottage ain't that easy. When these two met, Alexander Mitrovic scored the first goal, and I think it may be Edin Ketia who scored the late winner in that game. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, going to Craven Cottage ain't that easy. But listen, Arsenal will get the win. I mean, Arsenal having kept a clean sheet against having kept a clean sheet is that Everton win, and also they could be keyed in set pieces, the likes of Bournemouth, the likes of Sporting Lisbon yesterday. So I don't think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet, but I think they'll win. So I'm gonna go for 2-1. I feel like Alexander Mitrovic will score. There's probably Leandro Trossard and Bukayo Saka. So yeah, that's how the game is going to go. So I also need to win because they're under some huge pressure. If they don't beat Fulham and Man City beat Newcastle, then the title is opened up. So I still think Arsenal will win the league, but they need to make sure they don't drop points to Fulham. So I don't think they'll do that. I'm going to go for 2-1. It's going to be a really tough game, but Arsenal going to get the win 2-1. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. It's going to be a tight game, but I think Arsenal will get the job done. So it's going to be 2-1 to them. Right, moving on into another Sunday game at 2 p.m. and it's West Ham United against Aston Villa. Now, of course, as West Ham United won 2-0 against AEK that team yesterday. Mikel Antonio scored the double. His second goal was absolutely superb. The colour into the top right-hand corner was superb, so that was really good. Aston Villa beat Crystal Palace, so this game is at the London Stadium, and yeah, if you look at the table, West Ham United are 1 point ahead of Leeds United and Everton, so they need to win against Aston Villa. And also, I want to say this something that really got me confused and really shocked. If West Ham gets relegated, then David Moyes won't be sacked. And I'm thinking to myself, really? Like, does the owner don't care about the West Ham fans? Yeah, they rather not. They rather stay in the Premier League than be relegated. If you know what I mean. Like, come on, man. You saw what Southampton did when they were in the bottom. They sacked Ralph Hasenhuttl. The same thing goes for Leeds United. They sacked Jesse Marsch. The same thing goes for Everton when they sacked Frank Lampard. So why can't West Ham do the same? Like, come on, man. If you don't win against Aston Villa, then he must go because West Ham to me are too big to be relegated. The last time they've been relegated was a decade ago. So that's why the owner needs to really care about the fans and the players. If they want David Moyes to be sacked, then just do it. Do not allow him to stay at the club. Otherwise, you allow this to happen, which it doesn't make any sense. So to me, I just don't see David Moyes staying. If he does, then I'll be well shocked. So yeah, it's at the London Stadium. It's so difficult to predict. Um, Aston Villa won their game against Crystal Palace only 1-0. Man, it's so difficult, but it's at the London Stadium. The West Ham fans will be up for it, so I'm gonna go for a 2-1 West Ham United win. I feel like Mikel Antonio will score, Jarrod Bowen, and then Ollie Watkins will score for Aston Villa. So, yeah, it's going to be a really tough game for both teams, but I think West Ham United will just make the 3 points. Since it's at the London Stadium, if it was at the Villa Park, they would have gone for an Aston Villa win, but it's at the London Stadium. The fans will be up for it, and they should do. So it's going to be a 2-1 West Ham United win on that one against Aston Villa tomorrow on Sunday afternoon. And then we move on into 4:30 p.m. kickoff at St James's Park, and it's Newcastle United against Wolves. Now, of course, both teams don't usually score a lot of goals. For Newcastle, ever since they beat Fulham, they drew against. Let me just have a look very quickly. Fulham, sorry, Newcastle. Let me just have a look. Ever since they beat. Wait. Yeah, ever since they beat Fulham, they drew against Crystal Palace, they drew against West Ham, they drew against Bournemouth, they lost against Liverpool, and they've lost against City. So they've been losing more games than they draw. And if you look at the table, yeah, they've lost against Manchester United about 2 weeks ago in the Carabao Cup final. And look at this, they're in sixth place. But I don't think Newcastle fans will care about that. All they want to do is to manage at least finish in Europe. So I don't think, for me, that they're going to finish in the Champions League. If they do, that's really good. But I just don't see that happening. I feel like I see Newcastle finishing in the Europa League. So that's either fifth or sixth. So that's my overall prediction before the season starts. Newcastle to finish in the Europa League. So there you go. But I know they want to be in the Champions League because it's been so many years since they've done that. But listen, they want to at least play Europe. So I see them finishing in the top 7, whether it's the Europa League or the Conference League. But I see them finishing the Europa League, to be honest with you. So it's either 5th or 6th. So I think Newcastle will do well. But if they start to lose games, then that'll be a huge disappointment to the fans, to the players, the manager, and even the owner, because they've got rich, they spend really good players, but to see them not winning, lifting a trophy and not finishing in the top 7, honestly, that would be absolutely shocking. So I think Newcastle do well. They lost against City, whereas for Wolves, they beat Tottenham 1-0. So for this game on Sunday, I have to go for... My first thought is that it's going to be a draw. Because both teams don't usually score that much goals, but yeah, that's going to be my prediction 1-1. My first one is going to be 1-1. I wanted to go for Wolves win, but I feel like I said to myself, now you know what, both teams don't usually score, and both And yeah, and look at Wolves. They are now 5 points behind, 5 points ahead of the 18th place. So if they win, there'll be 8 points, but depending on the other results too. But listen, both teams don't usually score goals, so that's why I'm gonna go for Joe 1-1. I feel like maybe Mika Amon will score for Newcastle, and maybe Ruben Neves will score for Wolves. So yeah, those going to be the goal scorers for that game on Sunday. So that's how it's going to be planned. That's how the game is going to end 1-1. So and that's what my prediction is for the goal scorers. So 1-1 between Newcastle and Wolves. All right, guys, that is it for my Premier predictions. Let me go for the one more time. So the first game for game week 27, Bournemouth against Liverpool, I've gone for 3-0. Liverpool win against Bournemouth. The next one, I've gone for a 3-1 as Brentford win against Everton. Then the next game, I've gone for Brighton and Hope Albion win. 3-1 against Leeds United. Then I've gone for a 2-0 Chelsea win against Leicester. Hopefully, I'm right. Manchester United will win 3-0 against Southampton. That's on a Sunday. Then Tottenham Hotspur against Forest. I've gone for a shock. Nottingham Forest 2-0 win against Tottenham. And then I've gone for a Manchester City beat huge 3 points against Crystal Palace, because if they want to win the title, they need to beat Crystal Palace. Then I've gone for a tight 2-1 Arsenal win against Fulham in the London Derby. Hopefully that game will be televised on TV. Then I've gone for a 2-1 tight West Ham United win against Aston Villa. Then last and not least, I've gone for a 1-1 draw between Newcastle United and Wolverhampton Wanderers at the St. James's Park on a Sunday, and that will be the last game on game week number 27. All right, so that is all my Premier predictions for game week 27. Let me know in the comments down below where you agree, what do you think of overall my predictions, and what's your predictions? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see if I can react to them. And if you guys want to give your predictions, make sure that you click the share button so that everyone can come along, not only give your predictions, but all your friends, maybe your family can give their predictions in the comments down below. And if you don't want to miss anything, click the bell notification so that you never miss any of our content, because later on today I'll be doing a match preview for Leicester City against Chelsea. The game kicks off tomorrow afternoon 3 p.m. at the King Power Stadium, and then on a Saturday I'll be doing a live watch along and a match reaction after that one, so make sure you guys check that out. And if you enjoyed this video and the rest on the match previews, the live streams, and all that stuff, click the like button, and don't forget, if you're new, click the subscribe button below, because that'll help me because you'll make me be the happy person. That will help my channel to go very big, so make sure you guys do that. So guys, good luck to your teams this weekend. I'll see you on Monday for the going over my predictions. I'll be telling you what the result was, how many points I've got, and yeah, my biggest point was 12. Let's hope I achieved make sure I've got more than 12 points by the end of this weekend. And yeah, so good luck to your teams. Hopefully they'll win. Hopefully my team Chelsea win on tomorrow afternoon, and I'll see you guys on Monday for the game week Premier League predictions review. So make sure you guys check that out on Monday. I haven't done it for a long time, but I promise you, yeah, I will do it. I will record it on a Sunday and I'll upload it on a Monday. So make sure you guys check that out. All right, guys, got to go. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. Take care. And as always, peace. I'm out of here.